Welcome to MyLITV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. MyLITV starts now.
We come together this morning to honor our fallen classmates and those who attended Brentwood High School. Brentwood High School had 15 graduates die in combat in Vietnam. This is the class of 1964. It's our 50th reunion. We've come back to the school. We got the Vietnam Memorial, and that's all the fellas that were in our classes that died in action in Vietnam, and we're here to honor them. We will now proceed with the wreath, laying it on the memorial. And I'd like Mr. Roland Jimenez, representing the United States Navy.
Back when we were 17, 18, there wasn't too much going through our heads, but one thing I wanted to do is, if we were going to be drafted, I wanted to select a service that I wanted to go in. So I chose the United States Navy.
These graduates never attended a class reunion. Their sacrifice was the ultimate sacrifice. And I'll now read the names. They're not in alphabetical order. They're not in the year that they graduated. They're in order of how they died, when they died.
When you realize that Brentwood is the largest school district on Long Island, you just figure out the odds. If we have the most kids on the island, we probably had the most kids in the war, And so odds are that we're going to have the most casualties. I was in communications, in the radio, so anything that happened in the military, I usually was the first one on the ship to find out about it. And a lot of fallen classmates I found out about through the radio messages that we got, especially Eddie Labar, who was on the ship, the Forrestal, and also I was told about Gary Guasp.
I'd like all the veterans from the class of 1964 to please come up.
I went in because it was something, as an American citizen, when I was called, I went. I gave no thought of, I think I'll go to Canada. I went in and I did the best I could and, trying to be a good soldier.
Richard Lancaster, class of 1960. Jose Vasquez, 1963.
It's just immensely unfortunate, and I feel for their families. They're just great lives snuffed out way too early. I'm glad that there's some recognition for them because it's certainly well warranted.
Edward Labar, 1964. James Seidensticker, 1965.
One of the classmates in the year behind us in 1965, a young man named James Seidensticker, got to Vietnam a little while after I did and was killed during the Tet Offensive in Saigon. And this is my son James, who was named after James Seidensticker. And my wife Louise and I flew up from Florida to bring James with us and let him experience the camaraderie of the people sitting here today, the veterans and Vietnam veterans, and the service that they did, and he can understand a little bit about his namesake and where he got his name from. I'm an old Vietnam veteran who's free because of young men like you, and I appreciate your service very much.
It's something I've been waiting to do for a long time, so today was finally the opportunity to come up here, because we're from Florida, so it was the opportunity to finally come up here and check it out and meet all these people.
Peter Colucci, 1966. Frank Sardinia, 1965. Nicholas Fritz, 1965. Michael Cacucciolo, 1966. Gary Guasp, 1964. Daniel Hummel, 1965. Joseph Funk, 1965. Lawrence Sultan, 1966. David Skolnick, 1966. John Rosa, 1968. And Thomas Wynn, 1967.